Okay, so do you want to?
I'm gonna stand here. Don't take this spot. This is Gloria.
It's only going to move. It's going to come there. It'll only get worse.
Dad is band playing first.
The other option is to jump. I don't have the brakes on either. You need to decide if you have the brakes on.
Transmission. Band. Choir. Band.
Okay. Annabella, sorry. And now the right. What's happening here? Your head. That's great. So look up here. This first riser. Over the front, right? Because when you walk up, you're not going to.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good afternoon. We are here live at RMSD.
Second row. Walk all the way across the riser. Listen. You walk all the way across the riser, and then when you get to the end, you don't jump off. You step down. Okay? So I don't want Anna to tramp down from here and jump off the floor. Or Laura. Or Anna. You walk all the way across. You get to wherever the end of the step.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I want my phone back. My phone's broken. They don't wish because
Yes.
Go tell them this is open the comments.
Check, check.
If you want to sit, you can sit like a lady. Or a gentleman. You may have a seat. Okay? Just have a seat. Because this could be a little while, you don't need to stand the whole time. I couldn't understand him. Good afternoon. My name is Gary Shaver. Making noise now. Hello, hello. That's much better. Hi, my name is Gary Shaver. I'm the band and choir director here at the mid school and at the high school. I want to welcome all you guys to Ruidoso Middle School for our Veterans Day program. Just like we keep saying, you've heard at many events in the last 2 years. It's different than it usually is, but I'm just happy to see kids again. Happy to see you folks here. It's wonderful to have you here in person, and thank you for coming out. Normally, my sister from another mother, Dana Lenzo, she's kind of my good friend of mine. We've been doing this for about 10 years. She couldn't be here today, so I'll be your MC for the day. And a public speaker, I am not. I don't claim to be a public speaker, but I'm very happy to do this, and I hope to do honor to you veterans and guests today, and hope to teach our students who are in their classrooms today. The student body is in their classroom, watching live streams. So it's an interesting way of doing things, but we're going to make it happen. So welcome. Before we get started, I want to go any further without bringing our colors in. And strange as it might seem to our students in the classroom, if you were in the gym, you would stand because the colors were being presented. And so even though you're not here, I want you to stand in your classroom. And we will do the same thing here in the gym. As our Boy Scouts, led by Tyo Overhue, will post the colors. This is Boy Scout Troop 59.
Color guard, attention. Color guard, forward march. Color guard, halt. Cross the colors. Post the flag of BSA Troop 59. Present the colors of the United States of America. All those not in uniform, please place your right hand over your heart. Veterans and Scouts salute. And please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Post the colors of the United States of America. 2, return to ranks. Color guard, about face. Color guard, retreat. Color guard, halt. Color guard, dismissed.
Before our band plays the national anthem, I want to say a few words about the setting that prompted the writing of the poem that became the Star Spangled Banner. The story goes that during the War of 1812 and 1814, I always thought that was funny. How could it be 1814 if it was a War of 1812? Lawyer Francis Scott Key was conscripted to speak for and ultimately to organize a trade for prisoners of war. One of yours for one of ours. He went on the ship where the British admiral approved of the treaty, but he told them, that's probably for nothing because we're fixing to pound Fort McHenry into dust. And when that happens, the flag will fall and we will have won. Those kids will be free anyway, or those soldiers will be free anyway. So the bombardment began, and hundreds of ships, perhaps thousands of cannons firing on Fort McHenry all night long. And if you kids will look up the words to the poem and remember the words to the Star Spangled Banner, you'll realize that the only time they could see the flag and know that it was still up was when the bombs were going off. The rocket's red glare, the bomb flash, they'd see the flag still standing. All night long. And eventually, fog came in. They couldn't see it happening anymore. They didn't know whether the flag had fallen or not. Morning comes along. These are all the prisoners who are still on the ship. They were heard to pray, God, keep that flag flying where we last saw it. And they just waited in anticipation. When the fog lifted, there she was, still standing over Fort McHenry. Shot full of holes, tattered, yeah, it was tattered and beat up, listing to one side. Now, I can imagine that flag probably went down during the night. We don't know that. There's a lot of details lost in history, but I would imagine that flag went down maybe a number of times. But veterans, soldiers at the time, ran back out there, stuck it back up. That's the story. All night long, sticking that flag back up so it'd be up in the morning. And it was. Still up in the morning. Our servicemen and women are still keeping that flag flying over our country. When it gets knocked down, they bust some heads and stick it back up. We can count on that. Always have been able to. I hope you listen to the Star Spangled Banner with a newfound respect and appreciation, and do take some time to look at the words to that poem and make sure you know the words to the Star Spangled Banner so you can sing along. Our band will now play the national anthem, so please rise. Actually, you guys are going to sing that. Never mind. I'm just giving them some exercise. They had a lot of energy. They need the exercise. The choir's now going to perform a song that we've been preparing just for this occasion. It's called My America, and it's based on My Country, 'Tis of Thee.
marching on justice, returns of liberty, those bright sailing down the sea. Run, 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 free, stars and stripes see. Run and young mountain sun and freedom free. Our fathers God to thee offer up liberty, to thee our Savior, to thee we sing. Oh, may your love be bright with freedom's holy light. Protect us by thy might, great monarchy. Thy America.
People so small, so much noise. I would like to recognize for the students in their classroom's sake and those here, and just it's always kind of enjoyable to see who we've got representing each branch. So as I list off your branch of service, if you can, would you please rise and be recognized. Would the veterans of the Coast Guard please stand? We have any Coast Guard veterans? One of these years I'm gonna have one. Maybe once I have. You know, we've got a son of a Coast Guard veteran. How about the Marines? A Marine, good. Thank you. Thank you for your service. And the Army, please. Thank you for your service. The Navy. Thank you for your service. And the Air Force, please. That's rare. Okay, so if you give me just a second, I'm gonna have a couple of helpers from the band. We're gonna strike this stuff out of the way and get these risers out, and we're gonna have a special treat for you today. So come on over here, band members, let's break things apart. there anything you'd like to say about
Do you want to hear this? This is God's real cake is named after Colonel Boss, our father of the American Military Institute, and it is on a weekday. We've been practicing since community school. And the uniforms are based on the old cavalry uniforms used to our students for most of our history. We were a cavalry school, and the motto was every boy cries. So after school, the stables are still there, but we no longer have horses. We have uniform. They would go after school and ride and do cavalry charges. And it does. Well, that's long gone, but this is a throwback to our history and our lineage of cavalry officers. So ladies and gentlemen, on this command of Captain Collins, the Goss, Rifles Drill Team. Thank you.
Soloist, perform. Single, double, triple, quadruple, 2%. Out. Order. Out. Machine, all out.
I'm always fascinated. I love to see the Goss come out, Goss drill team come out and perform. The kids love it. Hopefully, you guys in the classrooms got a good shot of that. It's fascinating. It's wonderful to see. You guys work very hard. Thank you. Our band would like to play another song for you. This song's called "The Spirit of America," and figured it's a perfect song for the occasion. So I hope you enjoy "Spirit of America." Before I forget, I want to thank the classrooms, the teachers that participated in getting things right. Some artwork put up. Miss Rayburn's class, Miss Griffin, in her classes prepared some grab bags and snacks and treats for you guys. And thank you guys for helping out. I want to thank the technology department for making this possible for you guys to watch online and do that. Outstanding, and our custodians to set everything else up as well. Put my glasses on so I could read something here. You guys will get there. The whole glasses thing. We often ask our veterans to just to give a word of to you guys, to the kids, and just a little bit of something for you guys to think on. And I don't know that I want to embarrass you or anything, but I'll read your name and branch and everything. Simon Sims, U.S. Army, rank E4, posting in Vietnam. And 1967 and 69 to 69. Let's see here. Is Simon here? Simon? Thank you, Simon, for being here. Joe Pilar, Vietnam, posting in Vietnam, and let's see, Seabees. We got, thank you. So, give you kids an idea of what's possible and the jobs possible in the military. Heavy equipment operator. Okay, so you can look that up. Seabees is important work for sure. 7 years served doing that. Let's see here. I'm sorry if I can't read your handwriting. I think it says Jackson Ramirez. Jackson. USMC. Looks like staff sergeant, radio operator, mechanic. 10 years served. We fight for your freedom. His message to you is we fight for your freedom. We need to understand. Our students need to understand that every freedom, everything that you do in life, whether it be playing on your computers or eating hamburgers, going out with a girlfriend, whatever, it's all possible because of, whoa now. All possible because these men and women out here in front of us and out in our community. I'll read a couple more of those in a little while. I would like next to introduce our guest speaker, Command Sergeant Major Ronald Fabick, retired from the United States Army after 32 years of service. He is the son of a veteran, Commander Raymond Fabick, United States Coast Guard, and the father of a veteran Army combat medic, Lane Fabick, who served in Iraq and Afghanistan. During his Army career, Command Sergeant Major Fabick served with the 82nd Airborne, deploying to Grenada during Operation Urgent Fury. He was part of the Hurricane Andrew relief mission in Florida. He was deployed twice to Afghanistan, first as a member of the 3rd Special Forces Group, and second as the Command Sergeant Major for the 724th Military Police Battalion. His awards and decorations include the Legion of Merit Medal, 2 Bronze Stars, 2 Meritorious Service Medals, the Combat Infantry Badge, and the Parachutist Badge. For the past 10 years, Command Sergeant Major Fabick has been an Army JROTC instructor at New Mexico Military Institute in Roswell. Command Sergeant Major Fabick is a graduate of the U.S. Army Sergeants Major Academy. He holds a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree from the Ringling College of Art and Design and a Master's of Education degree from the Eastern New Mexico University. Command Sergeant Major Fabick is a native of Cleveland, Ohio, and currently resides in Roswell with his wife, Cheryl, formerly of Indiana. His children include 1 son, 2 daughters, 1 stepson, and 1 stepdaughter. Please welcome Command Sergeant Major Fabick.
Thank you very much. On this day when we honor the service and sacrifice of our veterans, I would like to take the opportunity to recognize the sacrifice of our family members who made all of our service possible. It is our fathers and mothers, wives and husbands, brothers and sisters, and children who all support us during our service. They endure long separations, keeping our families strong while we are away serving our country. They support us, pray for us, and worry about us. It is our families that are there for our joyous returns. They are also there to heal our physical and mental scars when we return from the ravages of war. Sadly, for too many of us, it is our families who receive the flag draped coffin of our beloved son or daughter, husband or wife, mother or father, brother or sister, who made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation. Frankly, I did not realize the amount of sacrifice our families endure until my oldest daughter, Emma, sent me her winning essay, which she wrote when she was a middle school student at age 13, reflecting her experiences of her dad away 2 tours in Afghanistan. The essay was part of her trip to Washington, D.C. They were going to pick 2 students to lay a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier, which is at Arlington Cemetery. And as you know, that's our nation's federal cemetery, started during the Civil War. And we have in turn our service members ever since then. And the tomb of the unknown soldier is the hallowed ground of Arlington, and it was set up 100 years ago this year. To choose the 2 students, they had an essay contest, and my daughter won one of the places to put the wreath on that memorial. I'd like to read a little portion of that essay to you to give some insight of what our family members go through when their loved ones are away. Essay by Emma Faybeck. There are many reasons why one may want to place a wreath on the tomb of the unknown soldier, but I have a very personal reason. I am part of a very military-involved family, including my dad, grandfather, brother, and brother. My dad is a command sergeant major in the Army. He was away for more than 3 years of my life. To some, this may seem like a short amount of time compared to their entire life. However, I was very young and still in elementary school when he was away, and I would miss him and worry about him a lot. When he'd come back, whether it would be at my school or house, I'd be so happy to see him. I'd be so happy that he made it back alive. Joining the military is a big sacrifice, not only for the soldiers, but also their families and friends. Now that I am older, I think back of all the amazing things my dad did, whether it was fighting in Afghanistan or parachuting in Canada. I always find his adventures awesome. I also think back to the dangerous missions he had to complete and how he could have lost his life. I am lucky to have him today, but to those families who have lost a family member, their story is quite different. I can't imagine the idea of being in the heat of battle and watching someone lose their life. Experiences like this would probably haunt someone through their entire life. My dad has probably seen this happen to his friends and allies. So for all the soldiers who have given their lives and their hearts for the good of all of us, take a moment and think about what that truly means, and how their sacrifice means so much to our country and our freedoms. To our soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, and Coast Guard men deserve the respect and heartfelt thanks from all patriotic Americans for their bravery, sacrifice, and their devotion to our country, the United States of America. Well, I must tell you, I was shocked when I read this years after I had returned from Afghanistan. I wrongly assumed, after tearful goodbyes to my son and daughter, that they would go on with their regular lives. for filling their days with friends, family, and school. I had no idea they would be worrying about me to that extent while I was away. I knew that I would be missed, particularly on holidays, school events, and birthdays, and as I had missed my father when he was away serving with the United States Coast Guard. But I had no idea they would be worried about me as I fought in Afghanistan. It was an entirely different experience for me. You see, my father was away a long time serving with the Coast Guard, but never went to war. A few years later, I experienced the same thing my daughters had when my son deployed to Iraq and later Afghanistan as a combat medic with the United States Army. I prayed and worried about my son continuously until he came home. I can tell you now, in many ways, it's easier to go to war than to see your son or daughter deployed to a hostile war zone. In many ways, you worry about them every day and you feel helpless to do anything. I'd also like to thank all the patriotic Americans who have supported our families when we were away serving our nation and thanked us upon our return. You know, a lot of you as students, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, have sent care package and letters, and I've just received some today, to our veterans overseas. We should get boxes to our battalion marked to any soldier. And we would forward those to those frontline soldiers where it would mean the most to them. And whether it was a box of cookies or toothpaste or letters thanking them, it was well received. And we reminded them that they were really cared for and people in the United States were thinking about them. As I traveled to Afghanistan, meeting our soldiers, I would find these letters and cards in their workplaces, in their vehicles, and many carried them with them as they did their combat missions, as a reminder of home and that those people back in the United States were thinking about them and caring about them. So I want to thank you, on behalf of all those soldiers. I know a lot of us sent those boxes out to wherever in Afghanistan, Iraq, and other places. And those soldiers we never got to meet. Well, I'm one of them, and I'm speaking on behalf of all of them, that if you have sent that as an elementary school student or as a Girl Scout or Boy Scout, they were received, they were appreciated, and they meant a lot to our service members. So, God bless our veterans, our families, and all the patriotic Americans that support them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that. We are blessed to have you here with us today. Blessed to have all of you here with us today. I inadvertently skipped a step here, and I don't like to do that. I don't want somebody to feel like I did it on purpose. I got to be very careful about that kind of thing. I'd like to ask our Indian Club princess, Kanea Kane, to come up to speak with you. She's got a, careful on the wire there, she's got a word she'd like to say.
Hello, my name is Kanea Kane. I am in 8th grade, and I'm the Ruidoso Middle School Indian Club princess. Veterans Day to me is a day to celebrate and to honor the military veterans who have served in the United States Armed Forces. I would like to acknowledge my late uncle who was in the USS Saratoga, Sheldon Fernando. I would like to thank all the veterans for serving in the United States. Thank you.
I want to urge you kids to start taking a role, taking some responsibility on yourselves to recognize Sending a care package, that's something you can do. I want, my daughter's always been good. My son does it too, still to this day. My son's an Eagle Scout with the troop, and my daughter's in the band over there. She's real shy, right? Laura, she's real good about recognizing veterans when we're out and about. And I want to encourage you to do that. Walk up and say thank you. Now you think, well, you may not be able to recognize them. That's true. That's very true. We've got veterans in our school. We've got veterans here that you didn't know, maybe you don't know. They're veterans. It's not like they're always advertising it, but sometimes you can tell. And when you can tell, walk up. Say thank you. Say thank you for your service. Talk to them. It's always enjoyable to do that. You hear some wise words and good stories. Please make a point of doing it. My dad was a Korean War vet and a great man. I was raised by my parents up in the mountains, my 4 older brothers, and a heavy sprinkling of John Wayne. And so that's probably why I have such a sunny disposition. But I have very strong patriotic beliefs. And I can remember when I was a kid, listening to our 40th president. And President Reagan always had some funny comments, great one-liners, and a love and passion for our country. So I came across his inaugural address from 1981, and I thought it would be a good thing for our kids to hear, and for everyone in here to see and hear. So without further ado, President Reagan.
If we look to the answer as to why for so many years we achieved so much, prospered as no other people on earth, it was because here in this land we unleashed the energy and individual genius of man to a greater extent than has ever been done before. Freedom, the dignity of the individual have been more available and assured here than in any other place on earth. The price for this freedom at times has been high, but we have never been unwilling to pay that price. Those who say that we're in a time when there are no heroes, they just don't know where to look. The sloping hills of Arlington National Cemetery, with its row upon row of simple white markers bearing crosses or stars of David, they add up to only a tiny fraction of the price that has been paid for our freedom. Each one of those markers is a monument to the kind of hero I spoke of earlier. Their lives ended in places called Belleau Wood, the Argonne, Omaha Beach, Salerno, and halfway around the world on Guadalcanal, Tarawa, Pork Chop Hill, the Chosin Reservoir, and in 100 rice paddies and jungles of a place called Vietnam. Under one such marker lies a young man, Martin Trenton, who left his job in a small-town barber shop in 1917 to go to France with the famed Rainbow Division. There on the Western Front, he was killed trying to carry a message between battalions under heavy artillery fire. We're told that on his body was found a diary. On the flyleaf, under the heading, My Pledge, he had written these words: America must win this war. Therefore I will work, I will save, I will sacrifice, I will endure, I will fight cheerfully, and do my utmost as if the issue of the whole struggle depended on me alone. We must realize that no arsenal or no weapon in the arsenals of the world is so formidable as the will and moral courage of freed men and women. It is a weapon our adversaries in today's world do not have. It is a weapon that we as Americans do have. Let that be understood by those who practice terrorism and prey upon their neighbors. As for the enemies of freedom, those who are potential adversaries, they will be reminded that peace is the highest aspiration of the American people. We will negotiate for it, sacrifice for it. We will not surrender for it, now or ever. We are Americans.
I remember not long after President Reagan got shot, he got out of the hospital, he was doing a speech, standing up, and he was a veteran, by the way, standing up, and somebody popped a balloon, sounded like a gunshot, so all the Secret Service started going, and he said, he didn't even miss a beat in his speech, he just said, miss me. God, what a man, he was a pretty cool guy. So, in closing today, I want to let you know that our kids in their advisory classes have been learning about Veterans Day and veterans. We're talking about gratitude and thankfulness. You guys, I hope that you take that very seriously. Do your gratitude journals, do your journals and think about the things that you have in your life. Some of us have tough lives. I understand that. Find something that you're grateful for. Find something you're thankful for. Think about all the things that you love to do. Riding bikes, skateboarding, your computers, your phones, things you love to eat. The fact that you get to eat something, turning the heater up, turning the heater down, lighting a fire in the fireplace. None of that would happen if we haven't always had veterans standing up and doing their job. So take time, and hopefully those people that you contact in your journal, hopefully those people that you contact, hopefully that's a veteran. Make it a point, because none of that stuff would be happening if we didn't have people that were standing up and fighting and protecting us. When you were a baby, they were watching over us. When we were babies, they were watching over us. When you're sleeping, they were awake. Right now, while we sit here, most of us aren't thinking about safety. Are we safe? Is this a safe place? We're just kind of hanging out. And the reason that comfort and ease is because we've got people like this who've made it safe always. They stand up for us and they continue to do that. And we're in your debt. Thank you, folks. Thank you very much for coming today. Thank you for your service. Travel safely. I appreciate you coming and speaking and your performance. Thank you very much. Don't forget to grab your snacks, your treats, and we're not rushing you out or anything. Just want to make sure you don't forget about that, because those were worked out for you. Thank you, folks. You are dismissed.